a couple minutes in. So my name is Taylor Kulik. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm going to be kind of your host, but you don't have to listen to me babble the whole time. I've got a great panel of proof experts here for you guys. Um, just a note, we have this chat. Feel free to use it to engage with us. We like to chat with you guys, hear your questions, your thoughts, etc. And then we also have an official QA section as well, but you can use either one, the QA or the chat. We'll get to your questions. If not on the call, then definitely after. But we're really excited for what we have for you guys today. We're going to be getting into some workflows about how to handle high volume service of process, and then how proofs technology can help you with that to, create serves in seconds as opposed to hours and be able to track them and whatnot. So who I have with me today is I've got Teresa Taylor. Teresa is one of our Proof's original employees. So she's been here for years and has worked her way up and is a client success manager. So your success is her success. And she's going to be passing on some of her years of knowledge on the Proof platform and working in the legal field. And then Lauren Ivoroni is also a client success manager here at Proof. Fun fact, she was also just promoted internally because she's that awesome. So we're very, very excited to have Lauren on the call today and passing on some of her wisdom. And then the man, the myth, the legend, Rudy Crowder is one of our senior account executives here at Proof. He's in the field almost daily, listening to different law firms, hearing from paralegals, etc., and bringing that information back to us so we can optimize what we do and how we enable you guys. Briefly run through the agenda, but again, this is loose. We want you guys to engage with us in the chat and ask questions, so please feel free to chime in. We're kind of going to go through the challenges that you face in the personal injury world and the volume and how to effectively scale. We're going to go through briefly how Proof helps with that and some of our available integrations that you probably are using today. We're going to keep that pretty high level though. And then we're going to get into how can you work on your service of process workflows at scale, and how do you continue to scale without having to take away time from billable hours, etc. Teresa is going to walk you through some of those workflows of exactly how you can do those in the platform. And then we're going to get into a live Q&A. So save your questions to the end or ask them during. Either way, we want to hear from you guys. So Rudy, it's all you.
Thanks, Taylor. Really appreciate that, and really appreciate everyone joining today. We know everybody is busy, so really appreciate your time. I'm briefly going to discuss the current challenges that firms like yours are facing when it comes to process serving specifically. A lot of firms are decentralized. And so what that means is they allow the attorneys and paralegals make a decision on who they use for process serving. While that's fine, we do work with firms that have that same model. There are a lot of challenges that people face when they are under that model. So a lot of the things that they see that they're facing based on conversations that we're having is that they're dealing with a lot of outdated and inefficient processes, right? And when it comes to what you do every day, we all know how important it is to have the paralegals and support staff focused on those cases. But when it comes to those processes, they're oftentimes burdened by manual steps, and then there's communication gaps and points of failure. So what we typically see is your process servers that you might use locally, you might not have them in outside of your normal jurisdiction, right? Or you might have a case or something you need out of state. Well, you have to find a process server that you're not familiar with. That takes a lot of time and effort and research. Then you have to hire that process server. And are they experienced? Do they understand the jurisdictional nuances that are associated with those cases that you're dealing with, right? And then on top of that, are they reliable? Do they have any knowledge of what's going on and what you're dealing with day to day? Once you find someone and you hire them, then you have to provide them with documents. Oftentimes that's done via email, and some of that creates a lot of issues when it comes to security and client confidentiality. And we all know how important that is, right? And then when it comes to the actual service, what's being done, there's oftentimes where your support staff is going to have to do a lot of manual follow-up, phone tag, right? A lot of emails trying to figure out what's going on. And let's face it, there's nothing worse than when an attorney asks a paralegal or support staff what's going on with service, and they say, oh, let me get back to you. And they have to wait a couple days for a response. Then, if they do get something successfully served, how long does it take to get an affidavit, right? What's the turnaround on that? And with these statutes coming up quickly, oftentimes, we all know how important that is to have quick affidavit turnaround times. And then when it comes to the billing, oftentimes the stories we hear is that there's a lot of hidden fees and people being nickel and dime, like, oh, we had to drive a couple more miles for this serve, or we had to do this, and it's going to cost this much more money. And so with proof, we've changed that. You can go ahead, Taylor. And so we are known for accuracy, speed, and transparency all in one platform. And for those of you who don't know who Proof is, we are a legal tech company that helps law firms streamline service of process by connecting them with process servers around the country. And we do that on one nationwide platform. How do we do that though? Well, we have a network of over 2,100 background checked and vetted servers. And that just means we've done all the hard work. We've done all the vetting and the background checks. You don't have to have any guesswork regardless to that. And also, our servers, they're actually incentivized to do a good job. So that's something that our clients really appreciate. Then we have our real-time tracking. We have everything done on a secure platform. And then the billing is very transparent. So there's no hidden fees. You know exactly what something's going to cost before even submitting a serve to the platform. And we also use AI to help streamline the process for our practitioners on the platform. And it actually extracts key information to help minimize manual inputs by your team. Then we have our three-way chat. A lot of our clients really appreciate our live three-way chat where they can communicate directly with the process server while they're out in the field. They can also communicate with a dedicated proof specialist that's there to help manage the job. And then on every single job, we have geolocation, time and date stamps, and we have photos and descriptions of every attempt. And then once the serve is actually done correctly and successfully, we actually have a description of the servee too. And then we do offer e-filing in certain states as well, and we'll touch on that a little bit later in the presentation. The last thing I want to cover is our integrations. And so while most of our clients, they use our platform standalone, we do have 4 different integrations currently that really help streamline processes even more for our clients. That's Litify, Filevine, Clio, and MyCase. And the beauty of that is Proof is already easy. This makes it even easier. You can submit serves from within these integrations. You can chat directly with the actual process servers from within these integrations without having to leave. So it really keeps your team focused on what they're doing every day. Now I'm going to turn it over to Lauren, and she's going to talk about a couple of things as well.
Thank you so much, Rudy. So, sorry, Rudy, great things. Autofill, skip trace, and e-filing. I want to talk a little bit about our autofill. Autofill is really what sets Proof apart. It is powered by AI, and you can leave the manual data entry behind. Basically, you can create a serve within 60 seconds. Once you upload your documents, our AI will read the information and fill in the relevant information needed to get your serve on the platform. Your plaintiff, your defendant, your case number will all magically appear on the screen. We do ask that you review those details. Once reviewed, you submit your serve request and we take over from there. The server will pick up the job and you will see how the magic of Proof will work when Teresa does her presentation. Another would be our skip trace and our e-filing. Skip tracing is, we have 2 skip trace options. So what I love about this is if you're unsure about an address, our team will do a pre-skip for you. You can send us the information, and from there, we will let you know the best possible address to get those documents served. On the other end, if an address that you provide proves to be unsuccessful, our team will run an in-depth skip trace for you. We will help you avoid any unnecessary delays and keep the cases moving forward. With the pre-skip and the bad address skip, those are both done by our skip trace team, and they are highly vetted to understand what is needed for a skip trace, and they will provide you all of the information. When it comes to e-filing, um, proof proves that we have operational efficiency with our e-filing. We handle end-to-end filing processes so your team can avoid navigating multiple court systems. Let us do that for you. It also reduces risks. There's fewer errors, rejections, and missed deadlines thanks to our compliance expertise. And last but not least is scalability and support. We have reliable coverage during peak workloads without adding any internal staff. Proof will handle it all for you from beginning to end.
Awesome. Now we're going to get into the demo by Teresa. Rudy, if you want to take the screen, it is yours.
Hi, everyone. We're excited to have you here. So thank you again for taking the time to join us. As Taylor mentioned, my name is Teresa. I'm a client success manager here at Proof. I'm going to take a few minutes to walk you through the Proof platform. I will show you how to log in. I will also show you a few tips and tricks through the navigation panel. And then I'm going to show you a job overview and how to create a serve on the platform. All right, so we've got our website here. I definitely recommend if you are brand new to Proof, maybe if you are sitting in a dentist's office or you've got some time to scroll, please hop over to our website. Certainly don't do it at a red light, but check out the resources that we have available on our platform or on our website. If you go over to the resources tab, this is really fun where you can find a lot of really helpful information to help you better understand Proof, our services and offerings. We have a lot of really fun events that we host. And just like this webinar, we have regular webinars and other informational events that we definitely recommend. Hop in here and see what we've got coming up. A really helpful tool is our pricing tool. We're going to click on this pricing tool. If you have a need for a serve coming up and you need a quote prior to using the platform, you can simply go to our website, click on the pricing tool, and you can get an estimate based on the state. Or if you need an exact quote based on an address, you can do so by clicking on this tab and typing in a physical address. And as you can see, you just type in an address, you grab the one that's generated that matches the one you need, and it's going to show you the pricing based on that location and the service attempts or the serve speed. We have a few different speeds to choose from. We've got a standard, expedited, and same day. We have much greater detail in those descriptions for the serve speeds that you can also access on the platform. We encourage you to do so. This is where you will log in. And once you're logged into the Proof platform, it's going to take you to the dashboard. Our dashboard on the home screen is going to show you a list of all of your jobs. And we have a really fun tool. It's our universal search bar. Over there, you can just type in the name of a servee, or you can search by the name of the job, an invoice number. This is going to save you time instead of having to go through a list of all of the jobs that you've added to the platform. So let's pretend we served Halo Water Systems. This is what we call a job overview. This is going to be your source of truth for all of the information and activity that occurred when this job was live on the platform. As you can see, there's the name of the servee. We're using our founder's account just for training purposes. So you can see the name, you would see the name of your law firm. You would see the job number and then your client billing number. Each job that's on the platform will have its own job number and then the billing reference number that you add during job creation. What's really cool about the Proof model, a lot of people have compared it to like the Uber of process serving, or like how Domino's Pizza has a pizza tracker. We have a Proof tracker. And so the little button here that says completed, when you put your cursor over there, you're going to see all the different stages of the job on the platform. When you upload a serve to the platform, before the nearest most qualified server accepts that job, it is considered unassigned. Once that server accepts it, it is then assigned. When they begin their service attempts, it's considered in progress. And then as you can see, there are other steps and stages to the serve. Again, this is what's going to house all the information regarding your serve. So we're going to move over to the proof specialist and the server information. Each job has a dedicated proof specialist and server that are managing the job. You've got in this middle column all of your service attempt notes. We're going to hop into that third service attempt because we like green. We like successful. You're going to see the address that was added at job creation. We have a geolocation, date and timestamp. You have a list of the documents that were served, a description of the attempt, physical description of the individual that accepted service, and photos of the service attempt. All of this information will be reflected on the affidavit of service, which you can also download directly from the platform. As you can see, you can download it from here or you can print it. The great thing about Proof is when you have a user account set up, we love to send notifications, and you will receive a notification in your inbox to let you know when that affidavit is available. So even if you're not in the job overview, you happen to be in your email, you can just pull that invoice directly from your email. On the far right, we have our job chat. This is going to be your direct line of communication between you as the user, the platform specialist managing the job, and your server who's in the field. If you have any questions or you need to provide an update or they have questions for you regarding the service, this is going to be that direct line of communication between you and them. You can also access your invoice from the job overview, but we're going to hop over to the navigation panel real quick, and I'm going to show you a couple things. We're not going to get too far in the weeds with this, but if you'd love a demonstration or a deep dive, I'd be happy to do that with you after. We can schedule time whenever you're available. We have the ability to pull self-serve reports. You can pull your invoices. You can export affidavits in bulk. A lot of really fun features through the platform. And like I said, we can always get deeper in that on another occasion. What I'd love to show you next is how to create a serve. So we're going to scroll down. When you're ready to create a serve, all you do is press New Serve. The great thing about Proof, with the autofill feature, it is going to extract all of the information, as Lauren mentioned earlier, so it saves a lot of time when you're on the platform. You don't have to manually enter all of the information. You simply upload your documents. You can either drag and drop them, or you can just upload them. They are to be uploaded as PDFs, and the max is 50. So as you can see there, you're going to upload documents. In this situation, what we're going to do today is we're going to pretend that we're serving multiple people at the same address. The interface is very user-friendly with the platform. However, sometimes we find that a lot of our personal injury law firms are serving multiple defendants at the same address, and that can get a little tricky when uploading serves. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to upload all of the documents that are going to go to two parties. So we've uploaded the complaint and both summons, and then we're going to press next. And this is where Proof is going to work its magic, and it's going to extract all of that super important information so you don't have to type it in manually. And as you can see, we've identified 3 parties. We're only going to serve the 2. We're going to serve Elizabeth and Elso. So we will just select those. Now, in the event there were 4 parties you're serving and it only extracted 3, you can simply select Add Servee, and then you would just add the next servee. But we're only going to serve 2. Select Next. And this is where the information for servee 1 you'll want to confirm. So we're going to go ahead and confirm that that address is correct. And then under the documents to be served, you will only select the documents that go to the first servee. And then you're going to scroll down to servee number 2. You're going to ensure that that information is correct. And then here's the magic button. You're going to select Use a previously entered address. And then you're going to select that address. And then you're only going to select the documents that go to that second servee. And let me tell you what's happening in the background. When you're uploading a job this way, this is telling the platform that you have two individuals at the same address that have two separate document packets. So our server, you're going to have one server assigned to this job. That server will know we are downloading and printing two document packets, so they will be served simultaneously. These jobs are going to be linked on the platform, so all of the updates will come through together. So you don't have to navigate back and forth and try to track down the jobs. They are linked within the platform, and all of the information will be shared within the jobs. Next, you have to select the court state where your documents originated. And then court date is optional. And then you select next. And then this is where you're going to select that serve speed. So you'll want to make sure that you select this based on, any time constraints that you may have. We have a standard serve that is 4 attempts within a 10-day period. We have expedited and same day. We are happy to share any additional details around serve speeds if you need that information. In this situation, we're going to do standard. And then we do have the ability to add on some services. If you are serving subpoenas and you need a witness fee check, we've got you covered. This is going to save you a lot of time. You don't have to deal with getting a check request through accounting and having separate invoicing. You simply select witness fee check. You select the person who's receiving the check. You can enter the specific amount, or we can calculate it for you. We do have a very small 10% fee. And then also the way that this works is that our platform is notified that, hey, this is a subpoena. It needs a witness fee check. We then add the witness fee check to the document packet. The server is notified. They download, they print the documents, and that witness fee check is served in the packet of documents. Saves you time, and then this is only an additional line item on your invoice. We also have the ability to pre-authorize skip traces. Lauren talked about that briefly. You can pre-authorize this here, or if you need a skip trace prior to service, we have an entire investigation team that handles our skip tracing. Or in the event that you create a serve on the platform and you are notified it is a bad address, you can authorize a skip trace within that job chat that I mentioned earlier when you're communicating back and forth with the platform specialist. And then we do have the ability to add on some mailing services where needed. We're just simply going to select the next button and move to the next step. This is where you will confirm your payment information. You will add your client billing or invoice reference number. Under job specifications, we have the ability to create customized job specifications. Once you have the opportunity to speak with someone from Proof, if it is determined that you do have any job specifications, we are happy to work with you to create those on the platform based specifically on those needs. And then we also have the additional notes section. This is an extremely helpful optional field, but if there is any information that you have job specific, let's say that we know that these two servees at this address both work from home, you can put a note in the additional notes letting the server know. If you do service attempts during normal business hours, it could be effective because they work from home. Or let's say you know the servee plays pickleball every Tuesday from 4 to 6. You can put that in the additional notes section so the server knows. Maybe they shouldn't do a service attempt between 4 and 6 on Tuesdays because they're at pickleball. So as you can see, like I mentioned, the platform is extremely user-friendly. So this is all the basic steps of creating a serve. You submit the job to the platform, and as I mentioned earlier, the stages of the job, it goes out onto the network so that the nearest, most qualified server has the ability to pick up the job. And then once that job is assigned, that's when the clock starts. And that is how you create a serve on the Proof platform. Back to you, Rudy.
Awesome. So now we've got a few minutes left, so I want to jump into any of your questions if you have them, or if you guys have to hop, we're also happy to follow up to answer any of the questions you guys may have. I know one came in earlier directly to me about skip tracing. Can skip tracing be done as a standalone or does it have to be done with a job? So Lauren, I don't know if you want to take that one.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks, Taylor. It can be done alone. You would email skiptrace@proofserve.com with the relevant information. You will then be sent an invoice. Once you pay that, our skip trace team will run that skip for you and it will be emailed to you directly.
Yeah, and that's a great question. Kind of doing that as a pre-skip or before starting a job helps with the speed of getting the job completed. We have another question from David. Are fees invoiced or are they payable prior to service? Rudy, do you want to take that one?
Yes. So typically what we have set up is just pay as you go, right? You pay either by credit card or ACH as you go. We do have the ability to set up invoicing. Just have to have a conversation about that, once we do scoping and have some conversations about your needs. We do have the ability to do invoicing, but typically it's pay as you go, credit card or ACH.
And typically that's done completed after service. That answers your question, David. Sweet. Well, we are at time. If you guys have any more questions, please follow up with us. You can reach me, who can get you in touch with the rest of the team at webinars@proofserve.com. You can also pull that up via QR code. We did record this session, so I will be sharing that out with you guys in the next 24 hours. I will try to edit out our technology struggles in the beginning there. So thank you guys for bearing with us during that. We use Zoom a lot, but I have to admit that was a first. But thank you guys for sticking with it. I really hope you guys learned a lot here. And then this team, again, is here for y'all's success. We are here to make y'all's daily lives easier. So please reach out if you have any questions, if you want a more in-depth demonstration. There's a lot more to our platform. It's a one-stop shop, and we're really happy and hope we helped you guys with this volume that you're seeing in service of process. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys, and we'll see y'all soon.